Hello, my name is Tim Brothers, and in this video, we are going to use the NextMaker Box 1, which includes the Fingertip Piano hardware in order to make the maze game using Scratch. Now, before we can begin on this project, we have to log into a new software package in order to support the hardware. This includes a one-time setup of the drivers on your student's computer. So in order to do this, first thing that you need to do is go to nextmaker.com. It's going to bring up this website. When this website is up, you want to click on the e-learning portal and then create a username and login. Make sure your student knows how to log into this application, because for this project, instead of programming on the Scratch website, we're going to program through the NextMaker website. It uses Scratch, but it's a little bit different. So they have to know how to get to this website. After that, it'll prompt you to install the software. Download it, and then it's going to show at the bottom of the screen. When it does that, go ahead and install that driver package. Okay, that's as simple as double-clicking on this. A little window will come up and click on install. If you have trouble, click on the link underneath number 2 where it says can't load the software, and it will give you a step-by-step tutorial. Once you've installed it, click on My Projects. That should open up the NextMaker programming space. And what you'll see is that this looks a whole lot like Scratch. It's built on Scratch, except this one has more hardware support. So underneath the devices now, click on Add a Device and add the Fingertip Piano into this Scratch game. Doing that, we can now follow the instructions generated in the maze game. So go back and watch the other video, and it'll create the program in NextMaker instead of in Scratch. All the same programming blocks, except we're making them here instead. The rest of this video is going to go through the changes that we need to make to that program in order to use the Fingertip Piano to control the game. So I'm going to do a demo of that game real quick to show how it works. Here's the NextMaker application. When we're in NextMaker application, now we can see that we have our Fingertip Piano. And what I want to do is connect to this device. Once I connect to it, I can now play this game. But the difference is that I am no longer controlling it with the keyboard. I'm now controlling it with the Fingertip Piano controller. And so you can see that as the sprite moves through the maze, it is no longer moving around with just the keyboard. But what I'm doing is using the Fingertip Piano to control it. In order to do the program with the Fingertip Piano board, we need to add the hardware. Once you've added the hardware, we can create a program for that hardware instead of for the sprite. So we're going to make a program for that specific hardware. Here's the piano code details. So we have 4 directions that we're moving. And these are specific blocks to the Fingertip Piano. So the first one, when joystick is moved either upward or downward, left or right, forever, we're going to check if it's still being held in that left direction. The joystick is leftward shaken is what they call it. And if it is, we're going to broadcast a message. We're going to broadcast a message that says left. Basically, what that's doing is when we are pushing the left control stick on this joystick, when we take this joystick and we push to the left, it's going to send out a message and it's going to say left, left, left to all the other sprites. So now we need to modify our sprite code just a little bit. Before, we were saying when the up arrow or the down arrow was pressed. Our new Sprite program is when I receive. Left, right, up, down. Those new messages that we just created. When we receive that, we're going to move in those directions. So that's the only change from the code that we did in Scratch to the code that we're doing in the Maker box in order to include the joystick controller. So send and receive messages. We start off with our piano, and now we're going to create a new message. And this message is write. So here's the message from the sender. This piano is the sender. We're going to have our sprite that's going to be listening for that message write. And whenever we actually pick up the controller and we hit the right button, that's going to send the message write from the piano to the sprite. And the sprite will now know how to move. Okay, so now it's your turn. We have these kits that you can use. You can check them out from the Girls Who Code Club, and you can take and program for the fingertip piano. And we'll help you during the next session learn how to do this. Before you come, please make sure that your laptop has the drivers loaded for the fingertip piano. Thanks. See you next time.